Hello, welcome back to Mark's House and Garden, where today I'm on the hunt for arid plants for my arid desert gravel bed, and I want something special and I want something different. So I've come to Nobridge Nurseries. Now, Nobridge have a reputation for having an amazing array and variety of different plants. I came here to look at olive trees and tree ferns last year, and we went away with a wonderful tree fern which is doing incredibly well. But today it's arid plants, so we're going to go inside and have a look at the arid plants. Before I go inside, let me just point out that it says open 7 days, March to October. It's not open 365 days of the year, so get here between March and October if you want to see some amazing plants. Now, David, who owns this place and has done for many years, is a wealth of knowledge and information. So if you get the chance to meet David, if you've got any questions, then please do find David and ask him. The same applies to all the staff here, incredibly knowledgeable. I've not been here yet and not learned something. Let's go inside. Now, Nobridge is in Shropshire, and people literally travel from miles around from Scotland and the south coast. On the way in, I just want to bring your attention to this. A Yucca rostrata. Can you see that there? This is for sale. This is what they look like when you plant them in the ground. Are they hardy? Well, these have been in the ground for years and they stay outside and they're not protected. So I think we can agree they are quite hardy. That might be on my shopping list. I've recently had a birthday, so I might be able to persuade the boss to contribute towards me having one of these. Again, let's go inside and have a look round. And I'm greeted here on the entrance with an amazing display of those yuccas. Imagine having to invest in all these for your business. I mean, it must be a joy, but it also must be a stress. So if you do get a chance to come down here and have a look round and buy something, do so. Look at that trachycarpus up there. Amazing. So I'm on the hunt for arid desert gravel border type plants. But you won't just find that here, you'll find an array of different plants. And I'm heading down to inside that greenhouse there, where there are some amazing arid plants. But let's just have a quick look round before we get there. Wonderful. Look at this fig tree down here. Wow. Look at that whole thing there. That would be an impressive thing in your garden. Right. Look at these here now. Psycha, Revoluta, lots of them. Now, you're going to have to spend some money on one of these plants, but you will get that money back in terms of enjoyment, and they'll outlive you if you look after them properly. And if you've got any doubts or concerns about the care instructions for these plants, just ask David or one of his team. I don't know where to look because I just want everything I see. Look at these beautiful flower heads. And that is called Hesperolo Parviflora. Hesperolo Parviflora. Can't even pronounce it, but look at that. Now, I'm on a budget, so I can't buy everything I see. Let's go inside now and have a look at those arid plants. Now, we're inside a lovely big greenhouse here, and there are so many arid plants. You don't know where to start. It's an embarrassment of riches, actually. And I'm looking at these prices, and I don't know if it's just me, but these seem to be a lot better value than they have been in the past. I don't know what's going on. Maybe it's just me, but prices here seem to be very good value. Just look at this leaf structure on these plants as we go through, and the cactus, and down here. Chiflera, I've just put one of those in my garden, and look at all these tetrapanics. I'm digressing once again because these are not for the arid bed, so I don't know where to start. I've been offered a pad to make a shopping list. So let's just talk about these plants and whether you can keep them outside in the UK. Apparently the rule is Don't plant them too deep, because you don't want them sitting in a shallow pit where the water will accumulate. So possibly think about planting them only up to about 2/3 of the pot, so that the top third is sitting out of the ground. Look at that, it's got a little pup growing there, can you see? Also, they will tolerate cold, a lot of these plants in the UK, down to freezing, and some of them slightly less, but they do not want to be wet. So if you can't bring them inside into a greenhouse like this, then think about building some kind of structure over them just to keep them dry. Wow, look at this, incredible. So an amazing selection of arid plants here, and I'm going to go to another greenhouse in a moment and show you even more. For now, just feast your eyes on this. And there's the greenhouse, and let's just pan across back down to the other side. Look at that. You wouldn't want to argue with that. I've always been tempted to put some of these outside the window to prevent burglars. Pharaoh cactus hybridus mix. What a specimen. Look at this. Those beautiful flowers. You're going to have to invert one of those to have a look at it. Incredible. Let's see if I can see a label so I can give it a name check. I can't see a label on that one, but I think it's a bigger version of one I've just seen. There's the label. And indeed, it says there, Yucca rostrata. Is it really? This stringiness. I'm on a learning curve with these arid plants. I can't profess to be an expert, but there are experts on hand. Look at this. Some huge cactus at the back there. So, this is the inside of the greenhouse with hundreds and hundreds of arid bed plants to look at. And I wish I could take one of each, but I can't, so I'm going to have to make a selection. I'm probably going to get a big one and several small ones, so I'll make a feature of the big one and plant the smaller ones around it in the gravel bed. When I look at that, that's a beautiful thing, isn't it? Sadly, that's outside of my budget, but maybe a smaller version of that. Aren't they amazing, these? Look at that. I think that's an agave americana. I think I can recognise that. Let me just get down low and see if I'm right. I'm not right. It's a marginata. But never mind, you live and learn. Taken in so much by the array and display of amazing plants here that I'm kind of aware that I am sort of on a waffle fest at the moment, because my eyes are everywhere. I don't know what to look at, and I don't know where to look for the best. I'm going to take you outside now and look at another part of the garden centre here at Nobridge, which has got a few more plants of a similar nature, which I'm considering purchasing. That's David down there. Now my name's South. Grasses, palms, more cycas there. Wonderful. Some amazing tree ferns, which we're about to see. But look at these. These were in demand and in short supply last year, but look at this. The old favourite, the Tetrapanax. Amazing. You might be able to hear traffic. It's right on a main road, this place. It's very accessible. And there are many, many polytunnels full of amazing plants. So it's almost like a day out to me. I want one of these. I want that for my black, red, purple border next to my pond. Do you want to have a look at the tree ferns and the olives? Let's go there next. And as we round this corner, you are about to see, well, look at that, isn't that wonderful? It's a garden design idea in itself, that, look, a straight path with the view in the distance, lined with these yucca rostratus and these wonderful olive trees. Aren't they amazing? All the way up to the top, and some at the back too. Well, now here's an interesting point. Look at this here. Psycha revoluta, you can see there, it says on a label, gone yellow. We asked David, why has it gone yellow? Probably too much water, probably overwatered. But he said, don't worry, because what you can do is you can just leave it to its own devices, and he's had one here tucked away at the back, which did the same thing. All those yellow leaves have been removed, but look here, it's been left, it went dormant for a bit, and now look, it's springing back into life with these incredible fronds, like little, almost like little worms growing out there, look. So that's coming back to life. If you've got one of them and it looks like that, don't give up on it, because you might end up with that, which will eventually turn into that. An abundance of trees. I'm quite keen to get to the tree ferns because there's an example in here of what goes wrong when you don't water your tree fern enough. If you let your tree fern dehydrate. Look at that. I want this whole polytunnel in my garden, and I want to be able to wander in and around it all day, every day. It's just sensational. Look at that there, double trunk one. There's actually three there, there's three separate crowns, but the trunks have welded themselves together. 6-footer. Down to short ones. These are not all tree ferns. There's a Cyathea cooperite, not quite as hardy as a Dicksonia antarctica. Look at that there. 5 trunks in one, which explains why you would have to pay that much money. But they do deliver. You get your checkbook out. Amazing. Right, let's go and have a look at the one that's been here for many, many years and was allowed to dehydrate. And you can see how it's stunted. And I'll also show you how they can come back to life if you start to take care of them. Again, here it is. Nice thick trunk at the bottom when it was watered properly, because in the summer when these are growing you can't overwater them. But then, for some reason, over the course of its life, it wasn't watered enough and it's dehydrated, but it's coming back. And if you were to carry on looking after it, I'm informed reliably that it will start to thicken out again, which is what has happened to that one up there. Can you see? Brilliant. So I'm going to do some shopping. I'm going to buy some arid plants for my arid gravel bed, which, it's Saturday today, will be delivered next Tuesday. So don't forget, come down and have a look at Nobridge if you get the chance. I'll put the details in the description box below this video. See you soon for some more Nobridge adventures. Bye for now.